when I went out to Kenya, Debbie got us all sat round this big table and said, what did we want to get out of our visit? And I said, I just want to see what God's doing in Kenya and to encounter that. And at the end of the week, she said, so Justin, have you seen God at work here? And I said, oh, absolutely. It's incredible what's happened. And every time Debbie comes back now to the UK or she sends a newsletter, it's fascinating to see how God is moving in the life of Debbie and Paul, and indeed all these children.
My wife and I got to travel there, and it was, great just to actually get involved with what was going on, and we actually did a Feed 500 programme, which they do every Saturday, where they feed 500 kids, and that was a real eye-opener, just seeing all of these kids, that have pretty much nothing, and yet, the anticipation and the expectation on their faces, and it's just very, very infectious, and the amount of joy and happiness that they still had, even though they have so little. And I was there with John Creasy stirring the maize in this big pot, and then the kids coming up and receiving their bowl of maize, and then getting a bag of maize to take home. I think I think it was just really, really good just to experience firsthand the work that Debbie and Paul do out there, and it was a privilege to have had that opportunity.
Here we are 12, 14 years on from when it started, and we've got students who have passed through university and are now fully occupied in good jobs in different parts of the country of Kenya. But also we've got a school that is feeding people out and growing still. The Bible school is developing. It's just providing everything that God wanted to provide, but it's done through Debbie's vision and Debbie's perseverance along with Paul. Yeah.
The biggest focus for the charity, here we are in 2023, is making sure they have enough sponsors and getting sponsorship to get these children through their secondary education. Yeah. This is their vision. Yeah. And they're very visionary people, Debbie and Paul, very visionary people. And they run with their visions as they can. And providing the finances there, but they never give up. They never give up on their visions. Fundraising is the major focus for us here in the UK, but I'm glad to say our church here in Bromham is very supportive, because they've been watching the development of this project for as long as I have, and over the years, and seeing how it's grown and how really God has guided them every step of the way.
From the English perspective, clearly we want to make sure that the funding for the school as sponsors for these individual children continue, because we appreciate that that is their ticket to greater opportunities in adult life. So making sure that there are fundraising activities, making sure that money comes into the charity's bank account, can then go straight over to the Kenyan bank, making sure that happens on a regular basis, so that the staff can be paid, so that the supplies can be put together and assembled appropriately. So it'd be really good to see what happens at this weekend's fundraising event.
It's just a great charity, I think, and I would say Debbie and Paul are they're visionary people, and they're passionate. They're so passionate about what they do that it's infectious. And when you hear Debbie talk, she talks from the heart, and she I think she inspires people, and the work that they do, and I think when you have been over there. And I'm not the only one that says this, but when you have been over there and you see firsthand and you're able to get involved, it does impact you, and you come back and you have your own story to tell, and you know, it's great.
It's all about getting children out of the poverty trap, giving them an education so they have hope for the future, because they have such high aspirations, these kids. They want to be lawyers, they want to be pilots, they want to be doctors.
I understand you're going out there, so I'm sure you'll have an exciting time. And as I said, you'll need lots of tissues to dry those eyes. But it's very, it is emotional. It's such a different lifestyle, and I think you'll come back and want to help more with the project. Yeah, as I hope everybody does who goes out there. Yeah.